Hello everyone. Welcome. My name is Sophie, and in today's video is all about time management for busy women. How you can calm the chaos, go from overwhelm to calm, right? Chaos to calm, whatever it is, however you feel. Hi guys, I'm Sophie, and a little bit about myself. If you haven't noticed the accent, I'm from West Africa and French is my first language. J'espère que vous allez bien aujourd'hui. Mwah. So, I am a work-life balance coach and I work with high-achieving women who want to overcome burnout so that they can find a peace and harmony in their personal life as well as their careers. I've worked for corporate America for so long, okay? There's nothing wrong with working, nothing wrong with working. I love working, but one thing that I realized is that all the physical, the sickness that I've been having was because I was burnt out. I was burning out. I was burning out the candle on both ends, right? That's what they say. Um, I was giving 100% at my job and I was also trying to give 100% at my home without really having any sort of structure, any kind of guidance, right? I believe that as a woman, I have to do it all. I can't do it all. But then I realized that I needed to slow down. I needed to prioritize what matters the most. And once I decided to do that, a lot of things has changed. I was able to give so much more to my job. And at the same time, I was also able to be the mom that I want to be at home. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that I don't get any outbursts sometimes, but I catch myself. I do communicate a lot more, a lot better with my significant other, with my children and my loved ones. And you know what? We all human, and I believe that we need to learn. That's how we learn. We learn, we make mistakes, we learn, and we do better in life. So I am a lifelong learner. I will never stop learning. I've learned so much on YouTube. That's why I decided, hey, you know what? Let me start making videos that I can maybe share the things that I've learned so that you guys can also know that you're human. We are all in this together. I'm not perfect and you're not perfect. I'm not thriving for perfection. I'm thriving for progress. Okay? So, today's video is all about time management, right? The importance of having time management and the side effect of not having time management. I kept saying time management. If you have $1 for every time I say time management, let me know how much dollar I'm gonna have by the end of this video. Okay? Write in the comment, let me know. So, and we're also gonna talk about a couple of steps that you can take to manage your time. But disclaimer, this is thing that I hear a lot. That's why I'm using the word time management right now. But in reality, are you really managing your time? Or you're managing yourself through the time? Remember, we all have 24 hours in the day. We all giving the same amount of time. But why is it that some people tend to do so much more and others are not? And most of the time, we feel like we are the one who are not doing enough with whatever time that is given to us. So with that being said, how do you manage yourself through the 24 hours that you have in your day? So before we keep going, here are the side effects of not having a time management strategy, okay? One, you tend to miss deadline. When you don't manage yourself accordingly through the time that is given, you miss deadline, whether it is at work or even if you work for yourself. Especially if you work for yourself, you need to manage yourself so much more through the time that it's given. Okay, so by not having the best strategies, you are going to miss deadline. That's one. Okay, and that's a bad look when it to you, because when you're responsible of something and you have a deadline and you don't deliver accordingly, okay, that will give you a little sense of failure. But that's the thing, we don't want to feel this. You don't want to feel like you have abandoned the person. You don't want to have that guilt feeling, if that makes sense. So let's try our best to manage yourself better. The next things that happen when you don't have the best time management strategy is you have poor quality work. By not allocating enough time on a task, you tend to rush, and then you tend to botch the project, and next thing you will feel like you haven't put your best foot forward. That was not your best work. Okay, but again, if that had happened to you, use that as an example. Maybe you need to give yourself more time for the project. Maybe you need to prioritize that more than other things. Okay, strained relationship is another thing. You tend to miss um date night. Okay, you're not, because it's not scheduled in your calendar. It's not gonna happen, which is going to take the connection away between you and your significant other, right? Another thing is that you may have an event to go to, and you say yes to it in advance without really prioritizing things that matters to you the most. And now you feel guilty that you may have to cancel, or you go to the thing but you are not present. You're extremely tired. You're like, ugh, you're like a Debbie Downer. Okay. So anyway, okay, strained relationship. And these are three main things that I believe happen when you don't have the best management time management techniques. But the opposite of that can happen when you tend to manage yourself better, when you know what needs to happen, when it needs to happen, and how long it's going to take you. Okay? Increase productivity. You tend to do more in less time because you already know what goes where and how things happen. So it's easier for you now to just plug and play and do the thing. But again, it takes time. It takes time. All of that might take you a couple of months to a few years. I think it took me a couple of years just to have an idea down pat. And every time I think I have something down pat, guess what? There's a curveball that kept being thrown at me every time. So I need to adjust as I go. I give myself as much grace as possible. So again, if you're someone who things just keep happening to you, curveballs are thrown at you, you're not alone. We're all in this together. That's why I'm here to, help you. And before I move forward, I would like to stop and give you guys some word of gratitude, because I'm really grateful that you are here. I'm grateful that you are watching this right now. And I'm grateful that, I am in a position to share these things with you, because again, I've struggled with them. I'm still struggling with a whole bunch of these things, but I feel like together as a community we can make a big difference. All right, love. So the next things that happen, the next good things that happen when you tend to manage your time accordingly, or you have a better strategy to manage yourself through the time, it better work-life balance. Okay, you know where to put your energy, you know when to put your energy, and you also know how much energy to put in different tasks. With that being said, by having a better strategy on managing yourself through the time, you can achieve the work-life balance you desire. Okay, and another thing is that I believe that you feel more fulfilled, right? You becomes a fulfilling person. You're passionate about the things that you do. You make time to engage with the activity that brings you joy and happiness. Okay, you create the life that you desire by having the best time management strategy. Okay, now, so far, I hope this was valuable to you. So far, I hope this makes sense to you. And I hope that us diving into this is going to bring you more joy in your life. So, here are few techniques that you can use to improve your management skills, or that can help you manage yourself better. Okay, remember, you are managing yourself. You cannot manage the time. The time is the same things every single day. How do you go about it? Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is to set clear goals or intention. For some reason, now, because it's being thrown out there so many times, people don't value goals anymore, right? Because you set goals and then it goes to trash a couple of days from now. Like your New Year's resolution. At the beginning, oh, I'm gonna do this and do that and do that. 2 weeks later, we're done. 2 months later, we don't even remember that anymore. So instead of setting goals, right? I still set goals. I set micro goals, and I mostly set intention. Okay, the intention of how I want to feel, because based on the way how you want to feel, you're more in tune with the action necessary to feel the way how you want to feel. Okay, so set the best goals and intention according to the way you want to feel throughout the day. Okay, and again, not just a feeling. You need to know what you're prioritizing so that you don't feel overwhelmed. You don't feel super anxious. You might feel a little bit of anxiety, but you know what? It's because you are thinking about the future. One thing that side note, um there's this thing that say the reason why we're depressed is because we live in the past. The reason why we're anxious is because we live in the future. And why don't we live in a moment and take what comes to us as it's meant to be, right? We are present. Why don't we try to be present? Again, I'm not saying you gotta be perfect at it. Just try. That's all we're striving for. Try, okay? Now that you've set goals and intention and you prioritize the things that need to be done, make a schedule. Okay, make a schedule. Know that from this time to this time I'm doing these things, from that time to that time I'm doing this thing, blah blah blah. Whatever hours or minutes that you have, make sure you plug and play exactly when it comes to the minutes to what needs to be done. Successful people um don't plan their day, they plan their minutes, because time is valuable, and I'm someone who don't want to waste anybody's time. So every time I come on here, even if it's just to rumble, I want to make sure that you have something valuable from this video. And I hope that me telling you about managing yourself through the time is valuable enough for you to take it through life. Okay, yeah, you make a schedule, allocate. In order for you to make a schedule, you need to know what's important versus what's urgent. Okay, if you're not familiar with the Eisenhower metrics, Google it. I can also make a whole other video about the Eisenhower metrics. I also do have some content that I already created about the Eisenhower matrix. If you want it, let me know. I don't know if I'm gonna put it in here because it's actually for my private coaching client. I create that for them, and we go through the Eisenhower matrix to help them really identify what's important. So what's urgent and important goes in the top left quadrant, and these are the things that you do right away. It's important and it's urgent. Okay, things that are urgent and not really important, right? You either delegate that to somebody else, or you make sure that who is the next best person who can do these things, right? Because delegating and prioritizing and delegating are very important as well, because you are one person. You cannot do everything. So find somebody in your tribe, someone in your corner, someone you trust that you can delegate some of the task with. So the second top quadrant, right? The top right quadrant is what you need to um, delegate to someone else because it's important, but it's not as urgent. Okay, so I think the next thing is that it's not that urgent and it's not. Which one is it again? Is it urgent? Important. It's important, but not that urgent. Something like this. I need to see it. Okay. The third one is this is something that I'm gonna schedule. Right. It's not something I need it right now, but it's somewhat important. Right. So I'm going to schedule it and I'm going to do it tomorrow or later in the evening or next week. And the third quadrant is that it's not important at all. It's not urgent at all. It doesn't matter at all. So you toss it. You toss it, you get rid of it. You don't even want to leave anything here. We're not doing this if it's not important, okay? If it doesn't matter, if it doesn't bring you joy, it doesn't fill you, right? We don't do it at all, right? It's gonna stay in that quadrant forever. And anyway, so if you guys want me to go into more detail with the Eisenhower metrics, let me know. I can create a whole video on it. I can actually have a visual so you guys can see how I plug and play the things and how I use it for myself. Again, let me put it out there, guys. I'm not perfect. Okay, I don't thrive for perfection. I'm all about progress. So I may fall short today, but I know that tomorrow I'm going to pick myself back up. Okay, so next thing I want you to also learn how to do when it comes to managing yourself through the time is learn to say no. A lot of people struggle with this. Me too. I used to say yes to every single birthday party that comes my way. And next thing you know, I'm running to like 2 birthday parties in one day. First thing first, that's money out of my pocket on this birthday present. I know the kids love it, but I also realize that the kids get tired. They don't want to go to 2 birthday parties on the same day. Okay. So that's one. Two, there are certain tasks that are not necessary at all. Say no to them, right? You know that you have work to do, but then a friend is calling you, hey, want to hit the club? I'm sorry, not today. I am working on a project. Can we schedule something for next week? Okay. That also put you in a position of authority so that will realize that, wow, this person value herself so much. I cannot just throw things at her anytime. So I will respect her time and I'm going to call her in advance and we are going to schedule things. You can also take it upon yourself. You schedule things in advance with your friend so it doesn't seem like you are neglecting them. Okay? Hope all of this makes sense. The next thing I want you to do is eliminate distraction when you are working. Okay? When you're working on a very important project, an important task, right? The thing that's in your top left quadrant on the Eisenhower matrix, avoid distraction. Okay? Phone can need to be on silent. If you're using your phone, turn off the notification because I know a lot of content creator, business owner, we work on our phone, but have a laptop, an iPad dedicated for work. Shut down as much noise, distractions as you can. Okay, if you have small kid, it's okay. I'm all about giving yourself grace and learning what works for you and your family. If you're a 9 to 5, I have someone who I used to work with. She will put headsets on, and every time she have the headphones on, everybody in the building knows that, hey, I am focused on something. Unless it's important, do not disturb. So we already know that. So she set the stage. Um, or put a sign, do not disturb, working on an important project, and then Unless it's urgent, unless it's a dire situation, then you can come in. Okay, I hope this makes sense to you guys. Another thing I've mentioned earlier is delegate the task. If somebody else can do it, you have 5, 10 things on your hand already, and um you only have 2 or 3 hours, who is the next best person that can help you with this specific task? Okay, please. I'm gonna keep saying this. You know best what worked for you best. But what works for me is not going to work for you. But these are some examples. If you don't have anyone you can delegate things to, find someone. Okay? Create, build that relationship with people. You can be mean to people all the time and then also expect them to help you whenever you want. Okay? So you have to build that relationship with the people you have around you so that they can feel enthusiastic about helping you with whatever situation, whatever task you have going on. Okay. Next thing is be flexible. Yes, I know you have only a deadline and now you gotta be flexible. You be flexible with the things that are not that serious. Okay. When I'm doing, for example, content creation, or I am scheduling my content for the week, or the next 2 weeks or so, one thing I realize is I am more flexible with that than when it's time for me to film a video right now. Okay, so be flexible. Unexpected things will happen. If you can just, hey, there's an emergency. Okay, I need to do that. Be flexible. Um, Leave some wiggle room sometime. You want to give yourself an extra 5 to 15 minutes, because I realize that when I have back to back to back meetings, I like to, let's say instead of a whole hour, I'll give one meeting 15 minutes. So I have the next 5 to 10 minutes to decompress, take a sip of water, and whatever it is. So I will let my clients know, hey, just so you know, let's make sure we dive right into this, because um I want to be we'll be ending this in time, or at least 5 minutes early. Or I try to communicate what I need to communicate. Be flexible. And the last thing I have for you is to reflect and adjust. Okay, if you realize that you bit more than you can chew, next week try to take smaller bites at a time. I know you only have 24 hours, and 8 to 10 hours it's you going to your regular 9 to 5 and commuting back and forth. And sometimes you might feel like there's no time, there's no time. There is time. There is. You just need to manage yourself through that time. I know that you may want to watch a soap opera. I know you want to watch your reality TV. But if you have things that matter the most versus the reality TV, you prioritize what's important to you. Because once you go, 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 and then you burn out, next thing you see yourself doing is neglecting all the important tasks just to watch reality TV. Why? Or true crime, if you like me. And there's no shame in watching true crime. Now, I schedule my true crime. I don't watch them all the time like I used to. I realized I was watching true crime when I was in a really dark space in my life. And I felt that the true crime was a lot easier than what I was going through. But it was just it was just a way for me to cope with whichever I needed to cope. It wasn't the best way, but I've learned and I've grown. And I like the true crime. I don't watch them as much as I used to. But one thing I know that I used to do, I will schedule it. And if I have to watch it, just one episode at a time. I don't spend hours on them anyway. So I still do the thing that I like to do. Um, you know, with intention. That's the thing, with intention. So reflect and adjust as you go. Keep what serves you, remove what doesn't serve you, and learn to build the strength around the things that you are not great at. But overall, give yourself grace. Overall, you are human, and we're not trying to be perfect. We're trying to progress. I hope this makes sense with you guys. Mwah! Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm looking forward to chatting with you in the next video. Bye.